Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name's Rachel and this is Stitched Up. So happy Saturday. It's a couple of weeks since I last filmed. If you remember in my last video I was going to go to the Southampton meetup that was held last weekend. Unfortunately I had a last minute emergency and couldn't make it. So I'm really disappointed about that, but that's just one of those things that happens. It was going to be my first meetup and yeah, unfortunately it just didn't work out. So today I'm here to do a pattern review and I am wearing the Tilly and the Buttons Seren dress. Now I think it's called Seren. So I'll just show you a little bit of that dress here. So you will have to excuse me, this fabric is very see-through, and I'm having to wear a slip underneath, but it's a full length slip. So yes, so this is the Tilly and the Buttons Seren dress and I made this during July, during the last couple of weeks of July. So this is the first printed pattern of Tilly and the Buttons that I've ever made. I've bought PDFs before I made those, and for those of you, I'm sure everybody knows Tilly and the Buttons, and for those of you that have ever made any of her patterns up before, I'm sure you know how great the instructions are. She's an absolute... She's just got it nailed for beginners, so if you are a beginner sewer, I would suggest you go and check her out if you've not tried any of her patterns before. But this is the first one that I've actually bought the physical pattern of. So let me show you what you get with the pattern. So it comes in really lovely packaging, and Tilly has just redesigned the packaging. So this is the dress here. She launched this about a month or so ago along with another dress called the Stevie. I will put a little picture of that here to show you, but the Stevie is, to be honest, I mentioned it in my last video that it's not really my style at the minute. I need something with a bit more of a nipped-in waist, and I really love the style of this dress. Now I don't want to start on a negative, but the first thing I will tell you is this pattern arrived and it's gorgeous packaging, but it fell apart within seconds of me opening it. So that was a bit disappointing. When obviously, you know, I think this cost me £14.50 plus postage, and when you're paying all that, you don't expect the envelope to just fall apart within seconds of opening it like this. So that was a little bit disappointing, but you know, I can let that go. I'll stick that back together. So inside you get a really gorgeous little booklet that's got some gorgeous, great instructions in there with full colour photographs all the way through with really, really detailed instructions. It gives you a jargon buster at the beginning, so lots of you that don't understand sewing terms, if you are a beginner, Tilly does go through all these just to explain what everything means. What I do like about independent pattern companies is they give you the size that you need to pick for your body measurements, but they also give you the finished garment size as well, so you can see whether how much ease is actually what's the word I'm looking for? How much ease allowance is in the patterns that they produce. So, and I really like that. And the one thing I like about Tilly's patterns as well is that she numbers the sizes. So with most of the other pattern companies out there, and that goes for the commercial patterns or the indies, they tend to just go by the normal size range from, well, in America it's usually 0 up to whatever, but in the UK we usually start at size 8, 6 or 8, and as a woman, what you tend to find with a lot of the pattern sizes is that they don't actually correlate to ready-to-wear clothes sizes. So a lot of women have issues with body image, as I'm sure you know, and if you're a size, UK size 10 to 12 for instance, and you're ending up having to make something up in a size 16 to 18 from a pattern, it can sort of screw your head up a little bit at times. It certainly did with me when I first started sewing, but it doesn't anymore because I just don't care about those things. At the end of the day, you make something that fits you, that you look good in, and you really shouldn't care what size it is. But what I will say for Tilly, especially being a beginner, is that she numbers her sizes 1 through to 8. So in some sort of, if you can just see that there, so in some sort of psychological way, it just takes you away from that, oh gosh, I can't fit into a size 10 or a 12 for instance, and just, yeah, so I think that's a really good thing that she's done there. So Okay, so with this dress there are two versions that you can make. You can make the flounce dress version here, or you can make a top and a skirt, and the top has got a tie on it. So you get the pattern pieces to make those two different versions. I've made the version with the flounce, which is the full dress, which I absolutely love. It's just gorgeous. And when I traced out my pattern pieces, as I always do, what I need to do is I always have to lower the dart by about 1/2 inch, and I lower the bodice. I insert along the lengthen and shorten line, I insert 1 inch to lengthen the bodice piece as well. So the dress itself is a button-up dress, okay, with quite wide shoulder straps and the flounce over the top. And it's midi length. I've made mine midi length, and the really ingenious thing about this dress, it's a gorgeous summer dress, is that the way that she's positioned these straps means it covers your bra straps. So if you can just see at the back, it's totally covered my bra straps. So it means that you can wear a bra with this, which is just fantastic. And I think it's the first dress that I've seen of this kind of style, with the, you know, with the summer dresses with the straps like this, where you can actually get it to cover your bra. So that's really, really good. So it means for those of us that have got a bigger chest, as I have at the minute because I've put weight on again, it just means that you know, you don't have to go braless. Now this fabric, I think I showed you in my vlog that I did a couple of weeks back, I bought from Fabrics Galore, and it was one of the fabrics that Tilly actually suggested as a good option for this dress on her website. What I would say is this is a crepe fabric, and it's absolutely gorgeous. I really love the design on it, but what I would say is it's very see-through. So as I say, I'm wearing it with a slip at the minute, but it's a full slip that I've just rolled down because I don't have a half slip. But I can get away with the top without wearing something underneath, but without a slip underneath you can see my underwear. So yeah, it definitely needs to wear a slip with this dress. But what I would say is it came together really, really well. The only adjustments that I made was dropping the dart in the bust dart by 1/2 inch and lengthening the bodice by 1 inch, and I also added about 2 inches onto the length of the dress because I'm tall. Otherwise I made no other adjustments whatsoever. Now this crepe has got a nice bit of give in it, so it's really comfortable to wear. The instructions were very straightforward. I didn't have any issues at all putting this together, and yeah, I absolutely love it. So it's not a line dress, it's got a facing around the front and the back, and the facing is interfaced. It's got a button band all down the front, which again I interfaced, and I think the instructions do tell you to do that. The instructions do tell you need I think about 18 buttons altogether, 15, 18 buttons. I always end up having to get a couple more because obviously I'm tall and end up lengthening it. I am so hot in here today. I'm in my summer house and it's gorgeous outside, but it's just so warm. Yeah, the fabric requirements for this dress are for the midi length. You can make it knee length, but I obviously did my midi length. It says 2.5 meters. Now I had 2.5 meters of this fabric, and obviously I've lengthened it by about 3 inches altogether. And I did manage to get it out of 2.5 meters and had a couple of a few little leftover scraps. So it was really, really straightforward. So I've done the flounce version, and what I've done is I've made a very narrow hem on the flounce to hem that. The way I do it is I don't use a narrow hem foot because I just can't get on with them at all. So what I do is on the raw edge of the fabric I sew a line of stitching, just normal straight stitches, about 1/4 inch close to the edge of the fabric all the way around, and then I will fold that over along that line of stitching and then fold it over again and press it, and that gives you a really nice neat finish, and sew that down. So yeah, so there's the narrow hem there, if you can see that, and that's worked really well. What I would say is that to make this dress you do need to use quite a drapey fabric like I've got here, so either a crepe or a viscose type fabric. Satin would work as well. You could make it out of cotton, but what I would say is if you're going to make it out of cotton, I wouldn't put the flounce on because the flounce in cotton would be quite stiff and stick out too much. So yeah, I am planning on making another version of this dress because I do love it. It's really comfortable and I think it's just so gorgeous. But I think I'm going to make it without the flounce. I love it with the flounce, but I want to make one out of a cotton that I've got. And gosh, my eyes are watering. Yeah, I want to make it out of a cotton that I've got, and obviously I don't think that would work with the flounce. So yeah, for me this is an absolute winner. Perfect summer dress. I made this to wear to my niece's christening that was last weekend, but unfortunately the weather was horrific. We had basically like tropical thunderstorms, so it just wasn't feasible to wear this dress, which was a real shame. But I'm going on holiday in a couple of weeks and I'm planning to wear it then. So yeah, so all in all, this is a fantastic pattern, and if you haven't ever tried one of Tilly's patterns before, or even if you have tried one before but you've tried one of her really simple patterns like the Cocoa dress and you love this but you're a bit worried because you think it's a bit complicated, honestly I would say go ahead and have a go, because it's, as long as you pick a fabric that you can work with. So I would go for something like this. If you've never worked with drapey fabrics before, I would suggest you try something like a bubble crepe, which is what this is, because although it's drapey, it's a little bit easier to handle than something like a viscose, which can just be really quite fluidy, and the same with a satin. So I would go for something like this if you've not worked with a drapey fabric before, but have a go. Tilly's instructions are straightforward, really simple, and she just guides you through every step. So yeah, this is an absolute winner for me. So that's it for this pattern review. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, please give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't yet, please subscribe. And my next video I will be showing you my makes for July. I did manage to get most things done even though I only had a couple of weeks, so I'm really pleased about that. And yeah, look forward to that, and I will see you all again very soon. Bye.